Hello and welcome back to Planescape Torment Enhanced Edition with me, Bardon, the Nameless One, Dakon, Anna, and Mort. Okay, so
Alright.
I want to see if there's anything else before. So was that the ramshackle house? Just trying to think. That was his house, wasn't it? Yeah, that's a wrecked building. There's something else here though, look. Yeah. So I want to go in here and see what's in here. Okay, so this is the coffin maker's shop. Okay. So we've got Dimtree and Hamris. Okay, let's talk to Dimtree. You see a tall, slender man with a glassy-eyed expression. He seems engrossed in some tale that the shopkeeper is relating. Occasionally he nods his head, but makes no comment of his own. Greetings. The man turns slightly at your greeting, just enough to acknowledge your presence. You notice that he is a little pale of complexion and rather gaunt-looking. He's given you a blank stare. The shopkeeper does not seem to notice any of this and continues with his stream of useless prattle. Are you all right? The man continues to stare at you and slowly nods. You wait for any further response, but he says nothing, only stares. You're about to turn away in frustration when you notice a strange musty odor about the man. Let's step closer and sniff. You lean in and sniff at the man, unsure what you'll find. As you do, a musty odor fills your senses, an odor you recognize from your time in the mortuary. It is the smell of dead flesh preserved by magic. You're a zombie, aren't you? The creature continues to stare at you blankly. Slowly, as if with great effort, he begins to reply to you. Only your speak with dead powers makes him understandable. Yes, I am Dimtree. Why are you here, Dimtree? Dimtree slowly glances at the shopkeeper and makes a feeble gesture towards him. Seeing this as a sign of interest, the shopkeeper redoubles his efforts in telling whatever tale he is relating to the poor creature. Dimtree looks at you again. Hamris, he talks. Hamris never stops. Wanders town, annoys master, annoys everyone. Master create Dimtree. Tell Dimtree talk Hamris. Now Hamris stay in shop. Master happy, town happy. Dimtree sad. Is there anything I can do to help you, Dimtree? The creature pauses, then resumes his slow speech with you. You can almost detect a pleading tone in his voice. Yes, find master, Sabastion. Ask him release me, please. He turns his attention to Hamris momentarily. Please. Okay, I don't know. I'll think about it. I have some questions. The creature gives you a barely perceptible shrug of his shoulders. No, nothing. Dimtree summoned by master. No darkness. Peace, rest. Then Hamris. Sorry. Help you if could. I see. Farewell then. Okay, now can we talk to Hamris? You see a rugged-looking, square-jawed man. He turns to you with a wide smile. How are you, Cutter? Good day to you. Good day indeed. He squints at you for a second, then juts his hand out to shake yours. Shake his hand. Greetings. Hamris at your service. Maybe member of the Harmonium and the fashioner of fine coffins for the recently departed. I think I know you. Do I not? Let me see if I can place it. He pauses to think a moment. Sharp with names I am in the Harmonium. Let me tell you, knew everyone on the entire ward. I have some questions. He nods at you. Ask away. He gives you a broad smile. Who's your friend here? He glances at the customer. Dimtree? He shrugs, like he hadn't considered the fellow before. Quiet, doesn't say much. Do you, Dimtree? Dimtree doesn't respond, but simply gives the same blank expression. A few seconds later he nods. Hamris shrugs, turns back to you. Wandered in one day a few weeks back. Been a regular ever since. He hasn't bought anything, but he doesn't cause any trouble, so I let him stay. Seems harmless enough. You see, when I was serving the Harmonium, part of our work was to take people under our wing, give them a little shelter from the chaos of the streets, get them spruced up. You do know that he's a zombie, don't you? He frowns, glancing at Dimtree, then back at you. What nonsense are you rattling on about? Dimtree's no zombie. Sure, he may be quiet and doesn't move much, but it's just because he's a good listener. Never mind, I have some questions. I don't want to punch Dimtree. He did nothing to me. He nods at you. Ask away. He gives you a broad smile. Can you tell me about this ward? Yes, the lower ward. He leans forward, as if explaining something to a small child. You know, it's little known to most newcomers and even people in the ward. Most people think that this ward gets its name simply because it's not as prestigious as some of the other wards. But that's not it at all. Not at all. Do you know where the name comes from? He looks at you expectantly. From all the lower plane portals. He nods, though he seems a little disappointed that you know. Yes, indeed, these portals to the lower planes are actually the reason for the smog in the skies here. He glances upwards, as if imagining a sky above your head. But I'm sure you are already aware of the condition that plagues this ward. Yes, I have some other questions. What can you tell me about the city of Sigil? Sigil. He lets out a long breath. Sigil is the city at the center of all things, or so many believe. It is the city of doors. There are literally thousands of portals here. It is home to the Lady of Pain herself. He shrugs. Sigil is a topic that can fill volumes and volumes of volumes. Tell me about the Lady of Pain. The Lady of Pain? Hamris leans in and drops his voice slightly. One of the multiverse's greatest mysteries. Everyone will agree. I think she's proved beyond doubt's shadow that females are the most dangerous creatures in the multiverse. He sighs. Go on. Some say she's a goddess, a power that's made Sigil her home. Truth is, she breaks the laws of every power I've encountered. Powers need worshippers. Gives them their power, but the lady doesn't like to be worshipped. People who do end up in her shadow, their flesh torn apart by invisible blades. Now, I've seen some horrible things in my life, things that would make another man's knees go weak and make him lose control of his vitals. Doesn't even compare to seeing one of the lady's victims. Interesting, what else can you tell me? Next is, she doesn't take to people who try and play God in Sigil. See, you may not know this, but first off, no powers can enter Sigil. Not Zeus, not Ra, no one. Word is that lady's presence somehow keeps them out. Can't get in, not a one. And that twists their stems like you wouldn't believe. Sigil's such a sweet fruit that anyone would want to pluck. That the other powers are always looking for some way into Sigil. They haven't succeeded. Go on. Well, it goes beyond that. Not only does the lady keep them out, she keeps anybody inside the city from harming it. Certainly she has helped from our faction, the Harmonium, since we like order, but every once in a while a foolish basher takes it into their head to start fighting on the streets of the city. Maybe decide to kill a few Dabas, brew up some chaos, or start casting mass destruction spells. Not a good thing. Makes the lady upset. Doesn't like to see her city hurt. She'll kill you or maze you for doing such. Maze you? You haven't heard of the mazes? He looks at you condescendingly. You are green. The lady's got extra-dimensional prisons she can place special offenders in. You see, she takes little bits of Sigil, shapes them into mazes, then cuts them off from Sigil. You'll be walking home one night, or be stepping through an archway near your home, then suddenly everything changes. You won't be in the place you remember. You'll be trapped. Chant is that there is one way to get out of each maze, but you'll be dead and gone before you tumble onto the dark of how to escape. I have some questions. I think that's actually it for now. But I do kind of want to tell him it's a zombie. But I don't really want to punch Dimtree, but I will. Harris looks at you in shock. What in the Harmonium's name are you? You cuffed Dimtree on the skull, hard. He doesn't even blink. Hamris turns red and starts bellowing. You've gone too far. I won't have you striking my customers. I'm placing you under arrest by the authority of the Harmonium. He stops and stares in wonder as Dimtree still fails to react. He's a zombie, Hamris. Hamris stares at Dimtree in confusion. I wonder how he died. You get the feeling that Hamris just isn't getting it. Just the other day, he seemed quite lively. He harumphs, for once at a loss for words. Well, it looks like old Dimtree will need a coffin. Good thing he ended up here. Thing is, what kind of coffin should... He looks like he's going to begin a lecture. Let's leave him to it. So we need to go and talk to Sabastion. And get him to release poor old Dimtree. Let's talk to Lenny as well. Seeing as we're here. You see Lenny, he smiles at your approach. Hello, Cutter. I heard about Byron and I couldn't be happier. He grins. What can I do for you? I'm interested in learning the thieving arts. Can you teach me? Yeah, sure. You want to give it your current? No, I don't. So can she talk to him? Let's move you out of the way. Because she's a thief, isn't she? No, it's only me. That doesn't make sense to me. I suppose it's just a way for me to change my class, but I'd rather like our thief got to learn some thief skills. Okay, so Sabastion is over here. Right, you've got to save poor old Dimtree. Sabastion smiles at your approach. Good day, Cutter. Have you completed your quest? No, I'm working on it. Is that all? Okay, so we got to go kill that thing then.
I'm gone.
Right. Well, maybe he'll help us. You see Thorpe, the Tokola. He gives you a friendly laugh as you approach. Thorpe, good friend, the smallie is back. What do you want of Thorpe? He smiles warmly. Thorpe, not forget you saved life. We can't... I thought he'd want to come and help. Be a bit of fun for him. Right, so we need to go over here. All these drawbridges are a bit weird, but Sigil as a whole is a bit weird anyway. So what's to say about this? This appears to be a siege tower. So, that's the siege tower. So it's not this one here.
My lungs feel like a chimney.
Okay, so let's put you here.
I'm gone. I will hear you. I shall serve.
And not here.
Okay.
Okay, and then we're gonna save because he's probably gonna kick our ass.
Balance in all things.
Hang on. What the hell's going on there?
Done.
What?
Oh, maybe we should just talk to him first.
Stop staring at my tail, you skull.
You see a reptilian creature with a snake-like body, 4 clawed feet, leathery wings, and a draconian head. The scales covering its body are a vile shade of green. The creature stands upright on its hind legs, balancing with its prehensile tail. As you approach, its eyes narrow to slits and it begins to hiss. Greetings! The air around the creature begins to radiate heat and its scales take on a pale sheen. It gives you a hungry look and appears ready to strike. Suddenly it releases a flurry of hisses and relaxes its stance a bit. Go! Grossuk, no talk. Told to wait. It stares at you as its tail latches back and forth. Sabastion sent me. The creature relaxes quite a bit and the air grows cooler. It holds out a clawed hand. Give Grossuk information. He looks at you expectantly. I guess Sabastion sent us to kill you, but then he's gonna attack me. And I really want more to tank it, but we're gonna do it anyway. Without a moment's hesitation, the creature lunges at you. Let's defend herself. Okay, so Mort,
What's up, Chief?
get him.
My bike's not working on this thing. Bike's not working on this thing. My bike's not working on this thing. Bike's not working on this thing. What's the word, Chief?
Special ability. Litany of Curses.
Bike's not working on this thing. My bike's not working on this thing. Bike's not working on this thing. Damn it. She has the personality of a patch of brains and twice as ugly.
Skull. Oh, we killed them. Wow, they killed them while I wasn't even looking. That was nice. Oh, well, look at that. That's his new ability. You almost killed a nameless one, didn't I? I just wanted to see what it was. But I wanted to use it on him. So that's, he's only got a bronze ring. That's a bit disappointing.
I'm gone.
Now we got to go back. But he's dead. I thought that was going to be a much harder fight. Especially given that these three lads here were going to get their ass kicked, but they don't have any magic, any kind of magical stuff, so they would have been in 0 damage to him. Whereas these two have magic stuff, and Mort was able to just keep his attention. Okay, let's talk to you. Right, Sabastion, we've done it. Good day, Cutter. Have you completed your quest? Yes, I've come for what is due me. One moment, please, Cutter. Sabastion reaches into his robe and removes a small crystal ball. He gazes into it for a moment before returning his attention to you. I cannot thank you enough, Cutter. I shall live up to my part of the bargain. Are you ready? Yes? It is done, Cutter. Once again, I thank you. Sabastion bows deeply to you. Thank you and farewell, Sabastion.
Updated my journal.
So, my scars are healed, I guess. Why can't we talk to him about
I'm gone.
Dimtree? Let's go talk to Dimtree again then. And we need to rest at some point as well, so that we can get our new spells. Okay. You help, please. You find Sabastion and release me. Yes, I'll help.
Updated my journal.
You can always sense a feeling of relief emanating from the zombie. Dimtree, thank you, friend. Where can I find Sabastion? The creature pauses. Not no. Remember voice. Give order, be here. Walking. Amorous. Nothing more. Sorry. I see. Farewell then. Okay, so let's go
I'm gone.
talk to him. I thought we did already agree to help him, but I guess not. They're just officers, yeah. Still got him and the chap up there that we want to talk to at some stage. But we have to get Dakon off somewhere else. We want to do that.
Done.
Sabastion smiles at you. Good day, Cutter. How may I help you? Actually, I want to talk to you about Dimtree. He stares at you for a moment, then sighs. What about Dimtree, Cutter? He wants to be released from his curse. He gives you a surprised look and then waves you off. I find it hard to believe, Cutter. Dimtree doesn't have the mental power to desire anything. He frowns for a moment. Did that idiot Hamris put you up to this? Think about it, Sabastion. Hamris doesn't know Dimtree is a zombie, let alone who created him, right? He sighs and seems to be deep in thought. Yes, you're right, of course. Hamris could not have sent you. I guess poor Dimtree is more aware than I intended. A pox on me for my stupidity. So will you release him? He looks at you for a moment with conflicting emotions crossing his face. He sighs and throws his arms up in exasperation. I cannot, sorry. He gives you a pleading look. I want to, mind you, but I cannot. I fulfilled the contract by creating Dimtree, and I cannot break it, right or wrong. I'm a man of my word. My reputation demands it. I understand your dilemma and agree with you. Could I release him instead? That would be difficult. He turns and begins to look through a nearby book. After a moment, he removes a book which he sets down in front of you. First, you'd have to have some magical aptitude. Second, you'd have to be able to properly speak the words you find on page 23 of this book. Go on. Last, you'd have to touch Dim Tree just as you feel the power of the words culminate within you. He turns his back on you and rummages through another box. I couldn't allow you to read that book, however. It'd be tantamount to my breaking my word through the actions of another. He continues poking through the box, ignoring you. Let's read the book and leave.
Updated my journal.
My skills have increased.
Oh, nice. Okay, so let's level you up. Saving throws improved, fighting skills improved, 9 hit points gained, 2 hit points gained from constitution bonus. Okay, that's pretty nice. We still don't get to increase these though.
Done.
But I know, at least in 5th edition, it's every 4 levels that you get either to increase your stats or to take a feat. But in 5th edition D&D, you get to either increase 1 stat by 2 or 2 stats by 1. So maybe it's every couple of levels in this game. I'm not sure.
I'm gone.
I'm not sure whether this is 4th or 3rd edition. Let's talk to Dim Tree though. Dim Tree turns to face you slightly as you approach. You can feel a sense of expectation in the air about him. You find Master. Dim Tree release? Yes, Dim Tree, I know how to release you now. Dim Tree turns to face you and gestures towards you. Please, friend, speak the words Sabastion taught you. He didn't really teach us though, we just read the book when he wasn't looking. You pause to gather your thoughts and then carefully speak the words Sabastion taught you. You then reach out and touch Dim Tree lightly on the forehead. Rest well, Dim Tree.
Updated my journal.
With a sigh, the zombie collapses at your feet. You think you hear a fleeting "thank you, friend" as he falls to the ground. Let's leave. Oh, did he have something? He had a bronze ring. Okay. Now, let's talk to you. Well, hello there. In the market for a coffin yet? He smiles amiably. I have some questions. Can you tell me about this ward? Okay. Let's just say no this time. Tell me about the foundry. Okay. So I think this is new. The foundry is the headquarters of the believers of the source, also known to some laymen as godsmen, because of their belief that everyone can achieve divinity. He shakes his head. The great foundry is much like their philosophy, a large sprawling structure that seems to produce nothing but smoke. He laughs. I mean, when was the last time you saw one of the believers of the source suddenly become a power? Not any time in the faction's history. Tell me about the siege tower. The scarred iron wreck. A ward mystery it is, but I have some thoughts on it. First off, it wasn't always here. As I understand it, it simply arrived one night, and no one saw how it got here. Now, you've seen the outside of it. It's seen battle, and it looks like battles that most people could not imagine. Me, however, I've seen the edges of the blood war, even tackled a Tanari fiend or two when things were desperate with only my harmonium fellows beside me. And those scars on the tower look like they were gathered over several centuries at least. He pauses for a moment. Go on. Now, listen close. My experience allows me to recognize some of those scars that decorate the sides of the tower. Some are acidic blasts, surely enough from some major sorceries. Some are Tanaric, teething blades. Others look like detonations from lot globes or scars from Batsu Konogon whips. However, a lot of the weapons embedded in the sides are weapons like none I've seen, and I'm well versed in a variety of weapons on many different worlds and on many different planes. Makes you wonder what's held in the inside of the tower. Basher, who cracks that tower, might have a museum in their hands. Makes you curious, doesn't it? He stares at you. I have some questions. No, pretty much done. But I'm interested in, he said he kind of recognized me, but oh, there's something here. Let's see, what's this? We got some coppers. Okay, stealing from the dead. Got another one over here. Hope it doesn't mind us wandering around stealing stuff. Doesn't seem to. Got a silver bracelet. Okay. What does this say? It's not clear. Okay. Oh, there's another one over here. And got some bandages. Nice. So I think we're done there. And I think we're actually done for this particular video as well. So I hope you're enjoying the series as always. And from myself, the Nameless One, Dakon, Anna, or is it Anna or Hannah? It's Hannah, yeah. My brain, again, bit of a brain fart there. Mort and Hamris, it's goodbye, and we all really do hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, maybe you'll hit the subscribe button there on the right and check out some other videos here on the left.